when I was 18, when I first properly heard about it when I was like 17, but I was like, oh, that person goes by they, them, they're non-binary. Like, I was like, okay, good for them. But then I kept hearing it and I was curious and I was like, what? Holy shit, that's actually a thing. Because growing up, I kind of had trouble like seeing myself as a guy. Like, I kind of felt like a video game, but like I was kind of like a DLC package. So like I'm not the actual part of the group. I'm just like a add-on to whatever side I was on. And like I was like, from when I was 13, I was like, could I identify as a trans woman? But that didn't work either. So I just was like, I'll stick to like cards I've got. But then I never felt properly like a guy. And then when I heard I was 18, I was like, yeah, no, this actually. When I looked into what non-binary was, I was like, yeah, that's me bang on. Once I properly did my research, it took like a few weeks before I'd be like, do I tell people this? So I actually told my best friend at the time, Keen Denham, that I was, but he was like the only person I told for like 3 years. And then it was in my second year of college, I was like, you know what, I don't have to stop. Like, I don't have to keep going by the name I was going by. So I decided that like I'd test the waters, and everyone was quite receptive. So that in itself was helping me be a bit understanding that people would accept it as well. Well, the thing is, I was a bit worried about how some family members would react, both with my gender and sexuality. I was a little afraid to test the waters with them, so I actually moved away first, and then when I got drunk and came out through voicemail, so there was that. But for the most part, everyone's been completely accepting. Like, I'd say a huge motivator for what helped me get feel like I was fitting in as JoJo was my classmates, because like everyone was extremely understanding. They were very supportive, and that meant the world to me. I think it is, because I feel like there's still the mentality that it's, oh, if even like that you're either one or the other. So if you were assigned a man at birth and then you come out as a trans woman, like that would be having a degree of accepting. But with non-binary, it's kind of like, some people are like, then what are you? But actually there's over 70 genders which non-binary could stand for. So it's still a bit, people don't completely understand it. And some people think, like, I think most people believe non-binary is just you identify as a mixture of the two genders, which is not the case. There's some people who identify as no gender at all, agender. There's some who identify as both, which is bigender. I wouldn't say come out right away. Like, I'd say make sure you're comfortable with who you are coming out to, and making sure that you are doing it in a way that you don't feel like the information will spread faster than you want it to. Like, I was very selective at first with who I told. For example, I told one of my best friends in a very quiet setting, and then I told my other best friend in another quiet, remote setting where no one would overhear us, and then it would be going to the kind of people I didn't want to tell until I felt ready. Like, I joined the Pride Society shortly after I'd moved up in my third year, and we went to this retreat called Pink Training in Galway, and there I met so many people, and that in itself really was a huge motivator for making me feel like I fit in and I'd be accepted no matter where I went.